Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel. In today's video, we are going to be making this meal that I saw on Instagram. I thought it looked cool, and so I got the things from the store in order to make it, and I want to try it out here at home. So I hope you all enjoy, and we're going to start getting all of our supplies ready. Seems pretty simple. I mean, the longest part of this process is probably just going to be boiling up our pasta. So we have a nice cut of salmon. I'm going to add a little bit of spinach to this. Let's see what else goes along with it. I couldn't find a block of feta, so we're going to get some shredded feta of our own, some small tomatoes, and our pasta, and that is about it. I think that will make our entire meal. We're preheating the oven to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and for those of you outside of the United States, that is 180 degrees Celsius, so please enjoy that. Now my pasta, we're going to use some tube pasta, some rigatoni, some small rigatoni, a little bit of olive oil on top, and of course we're going to use actually, I just got this Pyrex container from the store, so I'm going to wash it a little bit. I'm going to cook this lid off. I don't think that will be a problem. If it is, we'll discover that shortly enough. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but since I only eat one meal a day, the quantity of this is going to be perfect for me. It's going to be a little bit more than what probably a person would normally eat in one meal, but for me, it's going to be the perfect amount to cover me for the whole day. So let's get all of this cleaned out. Perfect. We'll open this up. Oh yeah, and you know what? I think I'm going to add something else to our meal. I don't know if this video that you're looking at right now is going to have it, but another video that I saw, they added a pretty significant amount of garlic. What they did is they cut the garlic in half, cooked it all the way through, and then smeared it afterwards. I am actually going to separate all of this out individually, so I don't really know what's going on here. We're going to do this again. I was expecting the temperature to rise a little bit more already. Let's get our garlic prepped first, and then we can start adding everything in. I think that will be a better place to start. This is only going to spend, I don't know, maybe 20-25 minutes in the oven. So we'll be able to go through this pretty quickly. You know what, I am going to do a whole clove. Let's see how my garlic peeling skills have evolved. Let's see if we can get all of this peeled by the time the oven is heated up. And you know what, I don't think it will be. Now that I've restarted that, the oven is heating up quite quickly. But regardless, it is the process, not the destination. Hello, roommate.
Don't finance a pineapple.
And that was our contribution by our very favorite Noah. Thank you very much, Noah, roommate Noah, for contributing to today's video. He is wiser beyond his years, I'll tell you that. Many people would not know that financing a pineapple is the wrong thing, but Noah does know that financing a pineapple is the wrong thing to do. And so you should listen to him and his infinitesimal wisdom. take his advice or suffer the consequences.
Longtime viewers of the channel know that I am an accountant. We talk about that all the
That
time.
is true, and you know, only an accountant could tell you that financing a pineapple would turn out poorly. Yep, only a rare select few people in this world could finance a pineapple without the consequences. And if this is the type of banter that we get when we're on camera, you can imagine the type of banter that we get onto when we are off camera. And it's nice to have somebody else in the house to break the tension, or at least just add a little bit of uncertainty to your day. He is definitely the funnier between the two of us. One of these days, I'm going to have to cook a Noah meal for you. He also likes cooking with pasta. He makes his very own pasta sauce. He's extremely good at that. This actually marks the first episode on the One Meal that we're making anything that includes pasta. But I figured that we have kind of cooked the chicken and rice almost to death at this point. And if I'm going to depart from the amount of rice that I usually eat, do something different, we might as well try out this meal today. So our oven is almost completely preheated. We're making good progress on this garlic. As I say that, we reach a roadblock. We will be sorting and assembling the rest of our meal shortly. Peeling garlic is always a really fun thing to do when you have other people that you're cooking with. Noah spends a lot of time, just like we're doing right now, peeling fresh garlic whenever he makes his red sauce, his meat red sauce. Usually for these videos, what I'll do is I'll separate these out and I will crush them or cut them up with the skin still on and then separate them afterwards. But for what we're doing right now, I think taking a little bit of extra time to do this, we'll be rewarded in doing this in the end. Or not, you know, we may not. But I do not want any little bits of skin wrapped up in our little pasta contraption that we're making today. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about doing every little piece, but as long as I can get the majority of the clove peeled, I think we'll be good. Okay, and you know what, I think that'll do it for us. We have a couple of pieces that are left over. They're rather small. In my opinion, forgettable. So we'll take this. We have some nice cloves there. Let's get to the assembly process of our meal. So unlike the video, I am going to start with a bed of spinach. Let's grab a good, reasonable handful and place it down here on the base of our meal. We're going to take our salmon. Now typically I would go in and get salmon that was not kind of packaged like this. This is a little off-putting for me personally, but the place that I went to did not have any other options at the time. So we're going to make do with this, and because this is not going to be a standalone piece of meat, we're going to be incorporating it into the rest of our meal. It's a pasta. It's going to be smushed. We're not going to be too overly worried about this. So let's take our piece of salmon. Skin is still at the bottom. I don't know, can it come off pretty easily? Cannot, it's kind of stuck in there. So we'll put this over onto the side. Very nice. There we go, our oven is preheated and ready to go. We're now going to put our tomatoes in here. Let's see how easily we can open this. We'll take this, put a pretty significant amount of these tomatoes over here. We'll take this garlic, we'll put a significant amount of the garlic over here into the corner. And because we do not have a block of feta cheese, we just have these crumbled up pieces right here, we're going to evenly distribute this feta cheese over the entire meal. Let that melt on there. Make do with what we have. Next, we'll take the olive oil. Don't want to add too much. I think that'll be good. And finally, some pepper. Don't need to add any garlic salt. We have plenty of garlic in there. But we'll add some pepper to the top of this. Looks much different than it did in the video, but I'm not making this for Instagram. I'm making this for myself. So let's put this inside of the oven. Beautiful. Set a timer for 23 minutes. I think that sounds reasonable. And next, we will grab ourselves pots. Put that on high. Fill ourselves up with some water and boil a healthy serving of pasta. That looks good to me. We're not using fresh pasta, so I don't think that you need to do this, but I'm going to add a little bit of oil to our mix to keep the pasta from sticking to each other. So again, I used to make a lot of fresh pasta when I was a kid. It was a fun thing to do with the family, where you take your flour and you put your egg in it and you knead it on into itself and turn it into fettuccine. That oil was essential for that, but I don't think we need to worry about that too much. I am going to add a bit of salt for water here. We're going to wait for this to come up to a boil before adding in our pasta. So let's see how much a serving of pasta is. Serving is about 2 ounces. Interesting. 8 per container. I think we should add 2 servings of pasta to our meal. I think that'll make a sizable amount, a good portion for us. We'll take our strainer. We have plenty of containers to put extra food in case we can't finish it all ourselves. And we'll take this as an opportunity to clean things up. So now that I think of it, it would be a good idea to grab some clips for myself from the store so that I can get a little bit better of a seal for the vegetables that we have here. We'll grab our tomatoes, put them back here as well. Throw away our cheese. and put pepper away. We also have an entire head of garlic left for any other meals that we have. As well as our cutting board, which we will no longer be needing. Okay, so our strainer, how much pasta do you think we need? So this is good for, don't let the watermarks bother you. I live in an area that exclusively uses geothermal water. So all of the filters of the water are done on our end rather than on the city and the state's end. So do not let the watermarks concern you at all. So, I don't know. 2 cups of pasta, dry pasta. I feel like that's fine. Am I going to regret this in the end? I definitely don't want to add too little pasta to the mix, but I think 2 cups of dry pasta is about 1/3 of this box here. So I think we'll be all right. I think that will be about all of the pasta that we need right now. So we have about 18 more minutes left. Let's check it our light. Take a quick little peek at it. Yep, it's looking just fine. Nothing major has occurred yet. Turn the light off. You know what? I can already tell this is going to be an issue. Let's go here. See what's happening. That still needs to heat up quite a bit. Okay. And it just occurred to me I haven't made pasta in a really long time, and therefore I must check to see how long it needs to be cooking for. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Good to know. Good to know. Well, once we put the pasta in, we'll take a brief break from one another for a while and let everything complete. I'll let you know how much time has passed since I assorted everything, and by the time we return, we will be ready to assemble our meal together. So I'll see you all in just a little bit. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's take a look at our creation, see how it turned out. Okay, so immediately what I'm noticing is that this feta cheese is not melting like the block cheddar feta did in the video. So we'll see if that's going to be a problem. We have our pasta here. I added more pasta to the water just in case. I would rather have too much than have too little. So I'm just going to smush these tomatoes, which are smushing quite nicely, which is good. Great. Let's take a look at this garlic. The garlic is smushing quite nicely as well. Some better than others, but regardless, good. Let's take a look at this salmon. Yeah, the salmon is smushing quite nicely as well. Very nice. We're going to mix this all together. So yeah, I think the block feta would turn out much better because the melt would be way better. So this is kind of like a less cheesy amalgamation of food. And the point is for there to be kind of a good amount of cheese because we're going to be adding in, you know, this pasta. We want there to be all of that in there. It's too bad. So let's add a little bit of pasta into the mix and see how this turns out. Let's add like half of it just to start out. Let's see how that works. kind of incorporate this onto itself. Hey, not bad. Not bad. Again, the block feta cheese would be better. I think that's the only thing that I'm complaining about right now. You know, some of these garlic pieces are clearly too big. Even when I've pressed on them, some of them are having a more difficult time smushing and smearing. So that's something to consider. So it might be best to cut up that garlic ahead of time and not just assume that it's going to smear fine on its own. I think the amount of pasta that I have in here is a good portion size, and I like that. I think all we really need to concern ourselves with now is the flavor. So yeah, if I were to do this again and do this a little bit differently, I would cut up that garlic, or mince it, or just add minced garlic instead, so I didn't have these large pieces. I like the tomatoes the way that they are, and then I would get the block feta and make sure that I got something like that so it would melt a lot better. Maybe even adding in some heavy cream as well to make a more like a thick sauce, because this is clearly not like a traditional pasta. There's no sauce that it's sitting in right now. But regardless, I have a feeling that this is going to turn out quite nicely. I like that I kept the skin on the fish. It seemed to come apart pretty easily and not stay in really big clumps. So let's just grab a couple of pieces of pasta here and take a bite. Hopefully it's not too hot. Yeah, it's quite good actually. I'm going to see if taking a bite of like a big piece of garlic is too overwhelming of a flavor. No, it's quite nice actually. Yeah, it's quite nice. I just expected it to be cooked through a little bit more. Yeah, I like this. This is great. This is a good flavor, good taste to it. I don't know if I would do anything different with the seasoning. Maybe add some like parsley onto the top of it, which would be good. With the salt and pepper on this, with the olive oil and then the garlic on it, is a really good combination. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 servings of pasta for like a regular normal meal. If I was going to come out and have this for lunch, this is probably have like half of it. But because it is fish, I'm not going to keep it for an extra day. I'm going to eat all of this. This is going to be my meal for the entire day. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to send me your own recommendations of other things that you have seen on Instagram, go ahead and follow my Instagram at The One Meal. Give me your recommendations of things that you would like to see. Keep in mind, it has to be one meal that I can eat for myself and prepare for you on this stream with limited cuts and breaks. Thank you so much for your contribution. This has been excellent. I will chat with you all shortly, and I will see you all later. Bye.